Solidworks task 1, going to teach you just how to extrude a shape. So go and open the program. Be careful, there's several icons. It's this one that says Solidworks 2021, not the others. They do something different. When it opens, it will look a little bit like this. All you need to do for this lesson is choose part, click OK. Right. Okay, when it loads, before you do anything, just do me a favor, go down to the bottom right and check that this little box says mmgs in it, millimeters, grams, second. If it doesn't, if it says one of the others, please change it to mmgs, okay? That's very important because it means everything you draw will be in millimeters, which is how we work in design engineering. Okay, so we're just gonna make some simple shapes. Now, all shapes in 3D start with a sketch, so we're going to go up to the sketch tab and you'll see you have a bunch of drawing tools. Okay, now if you just pick one of them, in this case I'm going to say get the square, you'll see it should bring up 3 work planes. So these are kind of your X, Y and Z directions, different places you can draw. Just click on one of them to start drawing. So I'm going to suggest the top plane, doesn't really matter which, and you'll see it's kind of spun round. Now I just want you to practice dragging out a square and click when you're done. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a size on it. It's very important in SolidWorks CAD that you always put sizes on stuff, or when you come to 3D print it, things won't fit together. So up here on the left, you've got Smart Dimension. That's the tool you want. You can, by the way, when you get better, also right click your mouse and choose it from here. Look, Smart Dimension. But for now, just pick it from up there. And all I want you to do is click on one line, move your mouse up, click again, and I want you to set this to 50 and just click the tick or hit enter when you're done. And then I want you to click on this vertical one and do the same. So it's currently 46.7, type in 50, hit the tick, and that will adjust the shape to be the size you want it to. Okay, good. We're done with our first sketch, so we're done sketching. We need to tell the program that. So first of all, click the tick to say you're done with the dimension tool. And then you want to go up here. Actually, you don't need to do this, but okay, so you can then click this tool, but we're not going to. What we're going to do is we're going to turn this into a feature and make it 3-dimensional. So we're going to go along to the Features tab, and you'll see we've got a whole bunch of tools that we'll learn about over the coming tutorials, but we're going to start with Extruded Boss Base. Okay, so pick that. Now, it should spin the view around for you. At this point, if you use the middle scroll wheel on your mouse, you should see you're able to zoom in and out. If you click and hold that middle button in, you'll see that you can rotate your view around. And another useful feature, if you hold Shift on your keyboard while clicking the middle mouse button in, that will zoom in and out as well as scrolling. And if you hold Control while clicking the middle mouse button, you'll see we can drag our view left and right. Okay, so just before we do anything with this, practice clicking and holding and zooming around, scrolling in and out, holding Control and dragging your image left and right. Okay, that's really useful because you're going to have to get used to looking at your 3D objects from different viewpoints while you're making them. Anyway, when you're happy with your positioning and how to manipulate the view, we're going to type in a size for this. Now, you can grab this orange arrow and pull it up, or you can go and type a specific size in here. So we're going to make a 50 by 50 by 50 cube. So I'm going to type in 50, click that, and there we go. All right, when you're happy with it, this yellow thing is just a preview, click the tick, and you've made your first 3D shape. Now, it's not very impressive, so we're going to add on a couple of other things now. We're going to add on an extra lump on one of these sides, and then we're going to add in a cut to make this video complete. So practice bringing your view along, or just pick a face. I don't really care which, so I'm going to choose the top, and we're going to do another sketch on it. So we need to once we've selected that face, we're going to right click on it and choose this little option here that says sketch, little star on it. That means we're now going to draw another shape on the top. So I'd like you to, for this one, to go and get the circle tool and just roughly somewhere in the middle, click and draw a circle. Now, when you're done with it, click the tick. We're going to put a dimension on this. So go up to Smart Dimension, click on your circle, You see, that's the same dimension, by the way, just it's a different way of displaying it. So click when you're happy, and I want you to make this one 45. Click the tick when you're done. Okay, and the final thing I want you to do, and this bit's a bit harder, is to position that circle dead in the center. So we made our cube 50 by 50. So to find the center, we would divide by 2. So half of 50 is 25. So what you need to do is click on one side of your shape, say that side, and then click on the dot in the middle, and you'll see our dimension is now between those 2 points. Okay, click a third time to place it, type in 25, hit the tick, and you'll see that shoved it 25 along. So it's now in the middle left to right, but it's not in the middle up and down. So with our Smart Dimension tool, again, we're going to click the top edge this time, click the middle dot, move it out here where we can see it, click a third time, and type that to be 25, click tick, done. So that will now be perfectly positioned in the middle of our object. Okay, right. Click the tick to say you're done with the dimension tool. So you'll get in this habit, right, of just clicking the tick when you're done with a tool. And we're now going to turn that into another 3D extrusion. So that goes to features, and we want an extruded boss base. You'll see it should spin your view around. Again, zoom out a little bit if you need to. And I'd like you to make this 25 tall. Okay. If you just click on the screen, by the way, it will update the preview. So when you're happy with that, click tick, done. Good, good. Right. We're going to do the same thing again now, but we're going to put a hexagon on this face and make it a hole. Okay. So click the face you want to draw on. Right click, make a sketch. Okay. This time we want the hexagon tool, or it's called polygon actually. If you click it, I wanted a hexagon, so that would be 6 sides, but you could change it if you wanted, but I'm going to leave it at 6. I'm going to draw myself a hexagon somewhere in the middle. Okay, click the tick to say I'm done, and now I'm going to position this thing in the middle. So I'm going to get Smart Dimension. I'm going to go a bit quicker now. Pick the vertical side, pick the middle, and halfway would be 25. Can do the same from top to bottom this time, so pick the bottom, pick the middle, make that 25. Okay, I'm also going to make my hexagon a particular size, and I'm going to determine that from point to point. So I'm going to put my dimension tool between here and here, and notice you've got to be a bit careful here. Can you see if I'm in that mode it says 39.48? However, if I come over to the right a little bit, that's the true parallel dimension, that 41.6. So that's the one I want to place. And I want you to make this one 45. Okay, now there's something else annoying me about my hexagon. It's that it's not completely parallel to this, but we can do that with drawing tools. So click your tick. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pick this, or one sort of edge of your hexagon, and we're going to hold Shift on your keyboard. And then I'm going to, while I'm holding Shift, click and the thing I want it to be parallel with. So I've got these two selected, and if you move your mouse over here on the left, you'll see we've got these relationships. So have a think about which one you want, but obviously we want it to be parallel. If I click parallel, you'll see what it's done. And can you see this little green symbol? These symbols mean things, all right? So that symbol on these two lines means those objects are permanently made parallel to each other, all right? If you're happy with it, you click the tick. Just to show you what perpendicular would have done, it actually throws up an error because we've already made it. But if I deselect that and choose perpendicular, can you see it's put it at 90 degrees? Look, one there and one there. So choose, you can go up here, by the way, in existing relations and delete them, but choose a parallel relationship, click the tick. Those drawing tools become really handy later on. All right, this time we're going to go to feature. But rather than extrude a boss, we're going to extrude a cut. Okay, so choose cut. Now this has the opposite effect. Rather than add material, it subtract it away. And I want you to make your hexagon pass all the way through the object. Now you could type in 50, and that would do that. You could drag it all the way through, and that would do that. If you want it to stay always through that object, no matter what you do, if you modify this, you can actually change some options here. So if you choose through all, you'll see that automatically selects the whole object. You could do mid-plane, which isn't actually going to have an effect on this object, but mid-plane does half one way and half the other. So if you were trying to hollow out an object, that might be useful. But anyway, we want to cut all the way through, so choose through all, click the tick when you're happy, and again, use your middle mouse button to rotate and have a go, okay? Right, the final bit I'm going to leave down to you, but I would like you, before you submit your image, to draw me a 40mm circle on this face here, so on the bottom, and a 20mm circle on that face and that face, okay? So to reiterate, 40mm on that one, 20 circle on that one, and that's the diameter, by the way, 40mm diameter, 20 diameter, 20 diameter. When you've done it, upload a picture of it to the OneNote page that I tell you to in the lesson, and that is your first bit of evidence. And congratulations, you can now extrude and cut. Easiest way to take a screen grab, by the way, sorry, I should say, go up here, sorry, this one, and choose plain white for the background. That means it won't have a visible background when you put it on like a PowerPoint. And if you hold down the Windows key, Shift and S, you get the automatic snipping tool, drag a box around what you want to snip, and copy and paste that onto the OneNote page where I have told you to. Okay, that's the end of video 1. Play video 2, and then we're going to learn about adding on fillets and chamfers and some other things that are quite useful.